So today I am playing a game called Fish Feed and Grow. I don't know, some of you may have seen this. I think it used to at least be a fairly popular game. And you just, you play as aquatic creatures and you eat stuff and you get bigger. You want to dominate the ocean. That's like the end goal. I normally like playing on the map called Great. Just, it's the biggest. I have normally played easy, but, I'll play medium. But, yeah, I think with my channel right now, I'm just gonna be, like, I might do some more videos on games I have played before, but it is mostly just going to be, for at least a little bit, just like one playthrough, just like one game, and then just like another game. But some games will have to repeat because I obviously don't have like an infinite number of games. But I don't know what character I should play as. I mean, there's a huge selection. That's why I like this map, because it just has like the most diverse selection. But I think I will just play as this basic. I mean, I have all the different skins, but I'll do this. This character, I don't know how to pronounce. I'd say Bibos, just because it, looks like that. So he's a very interesting character. He has a very interesting ability. He does have the pack ability, the gang ability, but I don't really care about that. I think I'm normally good on my own. But he's very interesting because when he starts biting a creature, if he, there's someone behind me. Oh no. Go! If I actually take this guy down, that'd be crazy. No way. No way. No way. Dude. So if he takes damage or does damage, oh my gosh. His bite damage increases and his bite rate, like his speed of how quick he bites. I can't believe I actually took this guy down. Dude, because in this, like, sandy region, especially for the Bibos, that mahi-mahi, the dolphin fish as it's also known, is seriously the most dangerous creature. Not just in this region, but it's like, at least from my experience of playing this game, it is like the Bibos' main enemy, like what mainly hunts it down. So that's just crazy I got that. I did do that once when I killed the Megalodon, because you have to actually kill the Megalodon and this other here, where is it? This other creature, it looks like a Mosasaurus, the Prognathodon. You have to kill both of them to actually be able to play as them. So I played as a Great White, and I was like level 1 or 2. I was, so pretty low level. I just went up to him and started biting him because his like model and his model size compared to me and him, like, so I actually went in him so he couldn't really bite me. And that's kind of like what I did with the mahi-mahi there. That was unintentional, but it even broke my bone, because that's why the screen went black and white, which, normally once that happens you can't swim, and it is most of the time fatal, especially if the creature is way more powerful than you, which in that case he was. And see, every time you get another level, your size increases and your bite damage, which is pretty cool. And also, like, at level 1, I feel like the Bibos kind of looks like a baby. Level, like, 1 to 2. Now I'm level 4, and definitely not, because the eye size and the body size, the eyes get smaller compared to the body. Because I think the eyes don't grow as fast as the body does, so it looks less like a baby. Because, I don't know, it looks like a baby at, like, level 1, because just the eyes are so big. The eyes do also, they do also grow bigger, because obviously if you're like level 100 and you're a huge size, then it wouldn't, then your eyes would be like tiny. So your eyes do grow, just not at the same rate as your body does. Yeah, I like this game because I've always liked aquatic things, the ocean, stuff like that. So that's why I really like this game, especially when I got it. And this is one of the games, years ago, like, 5-6 years ago, I used to watch so many videos of this game by a YouTuber called Pungence, who is, I think, a great YouTuber. And I always looked on mobile for the this game, and some games that I would look on mobile for that would be like rip-off versions, but obviously they wouldn't actually be on mobile. And then I like finally got a computer, and it was just so great because I could play all the games from my early childhood that I so adored, like The Amazing Frog. And The Amazing Frog, it's basically like it's basically like GTA 5, but like with frogs. I mean, it's a bit different, but it's the same general idea. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just sort of swimming around. So I generally have a way I do things. So normally I do what I was doing earlier, the starfish in the sandy area, especially like as a Bibos. And then once I get big enough, I go over to these guys. I forgot what they're called, but they're blobfish. And I start eating them because they provide a good amount of meat and don't really have... Well, I was gonna say, I don't really think I'm getting that guy. That orca. That's the one good thing though about the big creatures when you are small. He kind of looks like a baby. But when you're small, the big creatures don't really target you very much. Just because they would barely notice you. They barely notice you because they're so small, but also, at least when you think about it, like if you were playing the game, would you really hunt a creature that small? Because it doesn't even give you any meat. Yeah, I was level 4, or maybe actually, yeah, I was level 4, so maybe that's why he noticed me. I don't know. But and it's really cool because once you get big enough, you can, the bigger you get, you can eat bigger and bigger creatures, and then that allows you to get even bigger. So for a while, it is really fun with just like a snowball. Now, what I generally do is I just get to a size to eat the megalodon, and then I just play as a different creature or just play again. I might start farming the megalodon, but I mean, for me, that's always just sort of my end goal is the megalodon. I mean, maybe I could do like other goals, some random things, but I just don't know what I do. In this video, I probably will just play the Great Map, but I might make like 4 videos on this game because I do like it a lot, and especially when I first got it, I used to play it all the time. I think I played, I got 100 hours in super quickly. I mean, probably the first like, maybe not super quickly, but the first like month at least. Or maybe a bit longer than that, but definitely quickly. First month, that seems like, I don't know, it seems really long, because that's, right, 48, and then 72, yeah, so 96 hours is 3 days, so, I mean, 100 hours, and it was probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't know. I mean, I used to play this game a lot and play on my computer a lot, but anyways, I might do just like 4 episodes on this, one of every map. I will say I do like every map. The maps I play least though are probably the reef map and the swamp map. I don't like the swamp map too much sometimes just because it's small, and I feel like the selection of fish might be a bit smaller than others, but also don't play on the reef map a ton because for me it's just sort of like a smaller version of the Great Map. The environment is different. I mean, there are some reef stuff here, but it really has, a reef. I don't know, and because it's smaller, but the great white, which is like the main boss there, because he's still super huge, it feels like it just feels like you get to a certain point and just sort of hit a roof, and then I don't know, can't really go much beyond that because it's really difficult. I think only twice I've actually, built up to being able to kill the great white legitimately. I remember one time it was like a super weird thing. I like created a server and then made it so you could level up super quickly. And I did kill the megalodon that way, but I got to like level 34 as a Mako in maybe 3 minutes. So, and then what's so difficult about the Great White is he's more powerful in the reef map than in the Great Map, but also I feel like whenever I'm looking for him, I cannot find him, and then when I'm just strolling around, he just pops out of nowhere and kills me. Is that? Jeez. That orca, I thought that orca was coming back. Because you know it was so scary when I went over here the first time. I thought the whale shark was coming towards me. So I had a slight fear he could swallow me because they can do that more easily because of their special ability. So I had a fear that he could swallow me. That he might do that. But I wasn't too scared. And then his shadow sort of disappeared and the orca's shadow came in. I didn't realize it at first, and then it made it sounds like a violin or something. It made that noise, which is when a predator sees you, and I turn behind me, see this orca, bites on me, and I know I'm dead. Okay, I'm actually not going to go down there. Because those ghost sharks are dangerous, and when I go down there, sometimes they prey on me. Just looking at me for a second. That scared me. But, I did make a ton for almost I think the whole time when I was making the Rain World videos, I just made those. And I only made one that deviated from the Rivula playthrough. And I think that's why I didn't have a ton of passion after, like, you know, the 4th or 5th video to keep making them, because that's the only game I was making videos on. So yeah. But I'm glad that now I'm diversifying. So when I do play the Spearmaster campaign on Rain World, I will play it, but I think I'll also make other videos on the side of it. What the heck? I don't know what just happened. Okay. I don't know what just happened, but it's not like I'm not going to use this for my advantage. Well, I will say, okay, I have seen this before. I have used mods on this game, you know, for fun or anything. It's not multiplayer, so I wasn't. Well, you can do multiplayer like servers, but I don't. I never use mods in multiplayer. I'm not a bad person like that. But I have used mods before, and I know you can turn off fog, and it looks like this. But I turned off my mods. Like, I closed the tab from them. They should not work on here, so I don't know what just happened. So I guess it could still be operational. Just don't know what I hit if they are. Alright. Did I just? Okay, so my mods are still working. I think I keybinded 2 to cloning myself. So I shouldn't be able to. I'm not going to clone myself. I'm not going to ruin the game, but apparently the mods are still working, which, you know, that's my mistake. But it does look cool with the fog off, because you can see everything, but not the things like coral. They sort of pop in and you get closer, and you can't see creatures. So truly, it's not much different than having fog. You might be able to see creatures a bit further than normally, but mostly they just pop in from when you'd be able to see them in the fog. I think some of the smaller fish you might be able to see from further, but I'm saying no fog doesn't give you a huge advantage over having fog. But yeah, I have also been playing GTA 5. It's just I could make a video on it, but I'm not. I don't think I am, because I'm just sort of like in the middle of the storyline. I think I got like 51% of the game done, and it just would be weird to just start playing it and just do missions out of nowhere. Because I want to, if I were to play the game, I want to do like a full playthrough, or at least somewhat of a playthrough. I might make some videos on it, but I was also thinking I could just make a video where I'm doing random stuff, but I realize I just feel like that wouldn't be super interesting to watch. It's interesting to do, for sure, but I just think watching it, that wouldn't really be very interesting. Especially because most of it entails me driving around crazy, getting the police on me, dying from them and doing that again, or trying to escape from the police. And it's super fun to do that, but it's not very entertaining to watch. Actually, I should keep eating these. The crabs are a good source of food. I will say these, they look like ghost crabs. I think they're just called like giant crabs. They're really quite powerful. He's doing 4 damage. Yeah, but we get him eventually. because that's the thing. A lot of these storyline games, like Rain World, I've been playing these games, you know, for months before I actually thought of recording a video. But I've only been able to record videos now because I actually have a microphone, which the person I got it from has actually had it for at least a little while. I didn't know of it, but for a while I was going to record videos, but then I couldn't because I didn't have a microphone. So basically what happened is, I think it was May 2nd or something like that. May 2nd of this year, I wanted to start recording videos. It may have been like May 4th or something like that, but a few days before I actually started recording videos. And then I created my channel and posted my first video on the same day, which was May 8th. I'm pretty sure I did. Because sometimes I wonder why people would create channels and then, like, I get if obviously you create a channel and then like a month or two later then you start making videos. Sometimes I see though people create a channel and it's only maybe like 3 years after creating it they make videos. And obviously sometimes you want to set up for it, or you might still decide on making the video. Please, I've made it this way, please don't kill me now. Shoot, that's really bad luck. That generally gets them off your tail, like diving down. I mean, at level 10, I feel like I could take on a Mahi, but then also sometimes people might, you know, create videos way long after creating their channel, because whenever you comment on a YouTube video, that creates a channel. So, but it makes sense, because for a while I was wondering, you know, why would you create a channel and then like 3 years later start posting a video? But it makes sense, you know, it makes sense. There's many different reasons that are, you know, all valid reasons. But I think for me it was a very unusual case. At least a lot of the big YouTubers I see, you know, they don't create their channel and then in the next like maybe few days start posting videos. And my posting isn't super consistent, but I try to upload at least every 2 or 3 days. So, you know, a video, I try to not get it more than 3 days from posting a video. So every 2 or 3 days. Because sometimes I either forget because I'm doing other stuff, or I just don't know what to do. Like, for a while, for here, I didn't know what to make my video on. Ever since I posted the last video, I've been thinking I didn't know. And then it just came to me to play this game. But I want, you know, I think this game has a bit more replayability than maybe some other games. Because a game like People Playground, I might be able to make one more video on it, but, you know, I don't know for sure. Because the thing with People Playground, sandbox games like that, I feel like really it's just best to make like one video on, because there's no story, and after just maybe 1 or 2 videos, it starts getting boring. Maybe not for actually playing the game, you know, I mean, probably after playing it for several hours, you could probably keep playing it, but yeah, that guy's locked onto me, I think. But eventually, you know, your audience probably wouldn't want to see that for a while. And I think in general, sandbox games are less interesting to an audience. Now this game, I mean, I wouldn't exactly call it a sandbox game, but there certainly isn't any story, but there is still a general directive. I mean, for People Playground, you could also argue there is, you know, to kill the people, but there isn't really anything to do. Here, there is somewhat more of a directive: get big, eat everything, become the master of the ocean. So that's what I think. There's this game I do have on my Steam wish list. It's a fireworks game, Fireworks Mania, and it's just cool because you can, like, you know, it's like blowing stuff up and stuff. So I see you, eels. That's the weird thing, and not just about. I don't know how foolproof it is when you actually disguise against an enemy, but when the eels disguise, it's not very good, because if they're out in the sunlight, it's like I can see your shadow. You're not fooling me. But I don't know how it works against the other fish if they still like notice you when they see your shadow. I want to get those mahi mahi because they do provide a lot of meat. I think the tables I've turned. That's such a goofy saying. Yeah, I think they're scared of me now. Just 17's my max damage. It's at 24 there, but that may have just been because I was biting the meat. 27. My health's 162. Because that's the thing. Sometimes my health can be pretty low, but I just have to depend on doing high damage. And because my bite speeds up so much, I think we're gonna be pretty good. The mahi mahi, I mean, they're easily going down. There we go. Yeah. I don't even think he bit me there. I think he just hit me with his tail. Which, maybe I have before, but I can never find how to do that. But I can't really tell if I've done it, because you can tell when you get hit by a creature's tail, but I feel like it'd be more difficult to tell when you have hit a creature with your tail, because they pause for, like actually 1 second. So it's not super easy to tell. I think now. Oh, please, no. Ducleostes, don't do this. Oh gosh, all this progress I've worked towards, and they're just gonna take it all away from me. I don't like. Okay, I'm dead. Definitively. Oh, come get out of here. Now I'm gonna get them watches. I got him. What the heck? Okay. I'm a bit scared because all this meat can attract other bigger predators that I took on a Dunkleostes. I was gonna go try and take on a hammerhead, and even that I was worried about. But jeez. Dunkleostes. I'm stupid. That's as a fact, and it's not Dunkleostes. I'm actually stupid. I should know this because I study creatures like this. I've looked into creatures like this. I've been looking at prehistoric creatures for like 10 years. That's as a factinus, which I think is a very cool creature. And I don't mean in this game. He's okay in this game, but in real life, I've just been interested in factinus a lot because I first saw it. Okay, he's actually. He is doing a lot of damage, but I do a lot of damage back. So for a little bit, what might be good is to just sort of get the jump on him first. But yeah, so I'm a Mosasaurus documentary, and I just thought it was super cool. The jaw of the Zophactinus is really cool. Jeez, that happens sometimes in this game, and it's cool when it happens when you try to. And sometimes it's when you try to attack something and you think it might actually be a difficult struggle, and then you just win. But that wasn't even like that. He ambushed me. He ambushed me from the start, and I got him, and that was surprising. Okay, so maybe not yet, but I'm going to take my revenge on this Orcus. I don't know if you can hear it right now, but the music kind of sounds like Jaws. That's cool. Okay, not anymore. But yeah, it kind of sounded like Jaws. Now, I noticed that generally happens when you start becoming like a big creature. Big and menacing. At least a little bit. I don't know, most of the time the music is themed to what's going on. I think that's really cool. Like sometimes, when I was biting there, that really dramatic music, it sounded, at this like thumping drums that plays when you're, I think, biting something. It's playing right now. So it's cool how it's always just themed, I feel like, to what's going on. Almost like it's like fight music or something. It's really cool. That's a big scar. Oh, jeez. He's not looking good from that scar. That's bad. Yeah, see, once you get the whale sharks, honestly, that's when the game really starts to snowball, because you can get to a huge level, and then you really feel like you can take on anything. Definitely not the Megalodon. Probably level. Nah, I was gonna say level 50. I don't even think that, because I want to get my health. I don't know, 3,000, 4,000. And it depends, because once you're big enough, he will do about 700 damage. But when you're smaller than that, he can do like, 1,000, 1,200 damage, something like that. And I don't. And the Megalodon is not a creature you can catch off guard. Some predatory creatures you can catch off guard, but not him. He's super aggressive. I'd say of all the bosses, he's definitely the most aggressive. I'd say the next most aggressive is the sperm whale. And then the Prehistoric, I'd say, is the least aggressive. I mean, if you find him, I can barely find that guy, but... Oh, okay. But, I'd say he's the least aggressive, because I can barely find him anyways, and I just don't feel like he doesn't attack me much. I will say his, as far as I know, his bite speed is not very fast. What's it called? Bite speed. Yeah, 0.4, like 0.8 is the norm. Yeah, so compared to most creatures, he does have a pretty slow bite speed. So also why I might not see him as being very aggressive, because his bite speed just isn't that fast. I think he does the most damage out of all the creatures, though. Now, you can't play as the sperm whale, though, but you, sadly, you can't play as that boss. But in all the other maps, you can play as the bosses, and you can play as the two other bosses in this map, the Prehistoric and the Megalodon. But I don't know why, but saying that reminded me that this game last came out with an update in December 2021. And I know that's not that long ago for a game of what? It is July of 2023, but that might not be, it's not super long ago for a game to update. But this game has, especially for a popular game, which at least a few years ago this was, but this game has been, like, updating relatively consistently, I'd say. Maybe every few months, maybe every 4 or 5 months. Introducing a new creature or redesigning parts of a map. But what they did recently, because that's the thing, the last real update though they've had was in March of 2021, because they had an update in October, but all it added mostly was some skins for some creatures. Though I will say the skin for the catfish it added, which was just the Cheshire cat. That creature is actually quite different from the catfish. That basically is a new creature. But the thing they added in December, which they normally do for, like Christmas presents, it did do skins for the moray eel, these two dragon skins, which I will say are very cool. But they don't. The stats aren't any different than the regular eel. To be honest, I do not like the eel very much. His max speed is 12, which is not very fast. And then, as you get larger, your speed doesn't change, but, compared to your body size, it does feel slower, because you're moving the same amount as you did when you're really small, but now you're, way larger, so it seems like you're moving slower. I think the character, like, the way it actually moves is slower. It used to move much more rapidly, but the actual, like, speed in miles per hour is the same, but does appear to move slower. So once you get to even just like level 10 as the eel, and I was playing as the eel, it seemed really slow. And my mouse is falling off my mouse pad. It just seemed really slow even from the start. Okay, so this armored guy, this is a Dunkleosteus. And the other guy who was biting is like a Dorodon, old whale species. Okay, this might be good, because it's kind of engaged. Oh, he's not doing that much damage. Okay, look, once you get the Megalodon, you can level up. I think I leveled up maybe almost 11 levels, certainly I think 10. once you get the Megalodon, you're basically good if it didn't take too much to kill him. That's the weird thing with the Prognathodon as well. He doesn't have a set spawn point. The Megalodon doesn't either, so you can't like get big enough to swallow him and they just keep eating him. But he still has a general spawn point, you know, in this middle area, like up here near the top, in the middle. Which, well, I won't say that. I'd say the middle of the map is probably this area, or even there by the ghost sharks. It's probably closer to the middle of the map generally, but the Prognathodon mostly spawns over where I was just getting him, where he respawned, and over there by the Mahi-Mahis and the Great Whites. Because the Great Whites actually have two locations, over here and over there, though. Over there is definitely where they spawn more. Even though I think also going from my view right to left, this is not exactly the middle of the map. I'd say this more so is. It feels more like the middle because it is the largest open area, and it is a general. I mean, I'd say it's like the general place. I think it has the most biodiversity. It has the Styxosaurs, the Ichthyosaurs, Great Whites, Megalodon, Prognathodon, Mahi-Mahis, Ghost Sharks, Hammerheads, Surfactinus, because it is the Styxosaurus. That was the creature that was added in the March 2021 update, which really felt like the last true update, though I'd say though realistically the last true update was October 2021, because December of 2021 was cool with some skins, but you know. And I think normally it would be fine if they had released an update at least sometime last year in 2022, but because they haven't, it just hasn't really felt like it. Just, you know, at least for me, feels a little under par. And, you know, obviously, like an update once a year for a game is fine, especially for a big game. But for a game, you know, it's been over 1.5 years, so I'd hope we would have gotten something sometime. And unless they said something on like their Twitter account or whatever, if they even have one, Feed and Grow Fish, I'm pretty sure they haven't said anything about not updating. You don't have to, but you would think that if they just discontinue updating it, that you might say that. I don't know. I mean, since like a year ago, not a year ago, since maybe like late, you know, November, December 2022, I kind of started losing hope that they would keep updating this, and you know, by March of this year, I was like, okay, they're probably not going to update it. So once I'm able to kill the Megalodon, it's really just getting to level 100. Where is he next? He didn't spawn in the exact same spot, but he does spawn in the same general area. Maybe I should get big enough to just swallow the Megalodon. Oh, jeez, okay. I don't think that's gonna happen soon. One bite. See, that looks cool. Those scars he has. That's pretty cool looking. Alright. I mean, but he's such a big creature, I feel like I'd have to get to level, I don't know, 250. And especially, I'd say especially as he's running now. See, he attacks me. You really think you're gonna win this fight. But yeah, I'd say once you get definitely to level 100, but even before that to level maybe 60, 70, you really don't grow as fast. I don't know, I mean, I did only go 2 levels, but, so, I'd probably have to get to like level 200 something, or even 300 something to start swallowing the Megalodon, like size-wise. And I'm not growing as big, and also my levels. I mean, 3 levels is still a, you know, ridiculous amount. And, okay, 2 levels. It's still a ridiculous amount how consistent it is. But I'm saying, like, okay, that was only 1 level. But I'm saying it's not super fast. It's kind of arbitrary, but like 1 or 2 levels. Well, because what I went from 1.9 to 1.11, but it wasn't 1 full level. My XP bar at the bottom. When I was at level 109, it was right at the end of that level, and then when I was at level 111, it was near the beginning. Alright. Well, now I just want to see how much meat that's a lot. Oh my gosh. Certainly much more than the Megalodon has. And then also, yeah, you need more meat the more you level up, so by the time I would have gotten to level like 150, or let's just say like 200, one Megalodon, it would probably level me up like a level, but I'm just saying it's less progressively. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video here. It's a really fun game, and I really liked that playthrough of it. It's just sort of, the whole game is in a way nostalgia for me because I used to watch it so much many years ago, all the time. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I think I like the older version. I like the character models. Now they've gotten more realistic, which is fine, but the game hasn't, from the start it wasn't really like about realism. It was just a fun, silly little game. Though there is more higher selection with creatures, but I really liked how the ocean map looked, and the only real original, the only character I think that they haven't changed the model of, or main character that they haven't changed the model of, is the Bibos, who I'd say throughout the whole game's existence, I think it's existed since 2015 or 2016, apparently still in early access somehow. The Bibos I feel like has just been the main fish, or the main starter fish, which makes it feel more like the main fish. And I just realized maybe the reason they haven't updated it in a while is because they're doing a lot of patching. Maybe they're not going to add a ton, but doing a lot of patching for when they're going to fully release it. Because I get when games are in early access, it's been in early access for like 7 years, 8 years, and it hasn't had an update since December 2021. So I'm thinking, why would it still be in early access? Because it seems like it's done, unless they're polishing stuff up for the full game, which would be cool. But yeah, that's gonna be it. See ya.